We are back on Morning Line. It's our final segment with Allison Fields, veterinarian. The number 737-7587. We haven't gotten as many calls yet. And you know, one reason I think is because it's been a while since we've seen a veterinarian on the show.
And nobody's used to you being back.
Right.
I know.
So we'll get it up and going, and hopefully we'll see you again on a more regular basis. But if you have a question about your dog or cat, just wanted to ask you then, since it's been a while, I mean, as you come on, I mean, we've talked about a lot of the basics. Is there anything you've observed that you want to share that since we've last talked, things that you've seen in the clinic that are new or along the lines of rabies or anything else that have been happening?
I don't think anything is new in the animal world.
Yeah.
I think the new things in veterinary medicine are the attitudes of the peoples. So everybody needs to come in with patience and grace and understand that just like all the restaurants have signs up that says, you know, we're short-staffed, thank the people that showed up to work today.
That's for sure.
It's the same thing in the vet world. We are very short-staffed. We don't, you know, most of the time we've got somebody out with COVID. You know, it sweeps through the clinics. Every clinic has, I think we're on our 3rd or 4th round. And so, you know, either we've got people out with COVID or we just don't have people who want to work. And so we are short-staffed. The veterinarians are at the end of their tether. We don't have enough people to help.
Gosh.
And so just come with patience and grace. We're doing our very best. We're still here. Every day we come back and we still get abused, we still get yelled at, and people are still hateful. So, Karen, stop.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, it's true in a lot of businesses, obviously. And
any kind of service industry.
Exactly. And I have waited for more meals longer than before in the past, and I am tipping more than ever before because I can look around and I can see that this poor waiter or waitress
has every single
table, and they're scrambling and they're doing a good job. And I have left tips comparable to what the meal costs.
Yes,
because
I have too.
They're working their butt off, and I don't complain.
No, they showed up for work.
They showed up for work.
Same thing, and we are a service industry. Even though we are a medical industry, we are a service industry.
Just be civil, you know, if you can.
So we're trying our hardest. We're doing our best.
Oh, for sure.
With, you know, not enough vets, not enough staff. So.
Let's take a call from Jane, see what she thinks.
Right.
Jane, good morning.
Morning, Jane.
Hi, Jane.
Good morning.
Morning. What can we do for you?
I was just wondering, my dog is a very picky eater, and I'm just wondering, what can I do? I've tried all the expensive dog foods down to the lowest, and he's just very picky.
So is your dog underweight?
How does he look?
Skinny?
Is he fit?
Or is he fat?
Yeah.
Oh, he seems to be fine.
Okay.
And my vet says he's, you know, needs to probably lose about 5 pounds.
Okay, so he's overweight. So here's the thing. Lots of times people think that their dog needs to eat a certain amount. They need to eat everything we give them. If your dog is overweight, he's not picky, he's not hungry. So I see this a lot. You read the back of the bag says this dog at this weight should eat this much, and your dog isn't eating all of it, and so you keep getting new foods, and they might eat the new food real well for a couple of days, and they're like, meh, they're just not hungry. So if your dog is 5 pounds overweight, that's probably a lot. Let's say it's a 40-pound dog, that's a decent chunk. We're probably just not hungry. So the back of the bag is a recommendation, and if it says that dog should eat 1.5 cups, that's taking into account every dog. The dogs that are out running all day long at doggy daycare or hunting or doing things versus the couch potato. So if you have a couch potato, he doesn't need that much food. So the majority of times whenever this happens, the dog is just not that hungry. He's clearly eating enough to support his body and have 5 extra pounds.
Right. That's what's so interesting.
I don't think it's that he's picky. I think he's not hungry, and we're expecting him to eat more. So maybe we just put out less food and stop there and quit buying all the different foods and just feed him what he needs. He's not going to starve himself. Dogs are built to survive. They will not starve themselves to death. And maybe we could get about 5 pounds off of him because that would make him healthier.
Isn't that interesting that Jane, and I know what she's saying, she's looking and seeing some food left in the bowl, but Jane, I guess it would be a different answer from you if she had said, yes, he looks emaciated,
Correct.
He's not eating anything, in which case you would say, get him to the vet, there's something wrong with him.
But the fact that the vet is saying he's 5 pounds overweight, he's not picky.
Fine. He's fine.
Yeah. He's not hungry, and we're projecting what we think he should eat onto him. So let's quit adding, because now I bet you she's been adding some table scraps to the food to get him to eat. Stop with all the things. Put the food out. He'll be fine.
I wish I had a dog like that. Now the Chiweenie got into a bag once that was down and into the food, and he looked like a little balloon.
Harper ate 4 pounds of cat food one time.
Oh, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
And that's
food
protein.
bloat.
Yeah. Food. But the Chiweenie, it's a little. But it's funny when you get him watching. My wife's on me about making sure that you
you can see his ribs.
He's really lost a lot of weight without weight, and he none of our dogs are couch potatoes. They can't be with me in the house. But I mean, he's lost the weight. But boy, they'll eat if you put it down in front of him. He will eat until he explodes.
Harper will too.
And like her dog and our beagle. I'm done. But the other dogs, Pugs and the Chiweenie and Dewey, forget it. They eat so much, but don't worry. What do you think of if you have some hard food and you wanted to moisten it? You're not buying moist food. What do you think of any of the low sodium, like chicken broths or anything like that?
Why not just use water?
I don't know. You could do that. Or if you wanted to make ice cubes out of the chicken broth or things like that. Is that harmful, the chicken broth?
No, but the ice cubes, if they crack it the right way, they could chip a tooth.
Okay, if you just put the chicken broth a little bit onto their kibble, is that bad?
No, it's not bad, but you create monsters.
Yeah, but they sure love it. I love it. I get the sodium-free organic chicken broth.
Of course you do.
Add it. I can't. Have you been?
Harper eats her kibble. She's so excited about her kibble. We give her her kibble, and she
if I don't give it to them every day. I give them. Hey, what do you think about fish oil for dogs? If you give them a fish oil tablet, is that worth it for anything?
It can be.
Okay.
You just need to make sure it's approved for dogs. You need to be really careful these days giving any human supplements, vitamins, anything to dogs, because a lot of companies are using sweeteners, so it's sweet to people, but xylitol kills dogs. Some companies have started labeling it, I think it's birch sugar, which is xylitol, but they call it birch sugar or birch something, so that it doesn't sound like a chemical and it sounds more organic.
I didn't know that.
And
birch,
it's still
I gotta remember that.
xylitol, and so that kills dogs very rapidly. So just be cautious. Anytime you get any kind of medicine, lots of vets will say, please, give your dog a Benadryl. You need to make sure it's not like a melty thing, because those are flavored very commonly with xylitol. Children's medications lots of times have xylitol. So peanut butter, the sugar-free peanut butter, or it says no sugar added, sometimes will still have sweetener in it, xylitol. So if you're getting anything that says no sugar added or is a sweetened or something that tastes good that's a medication, you really need to read your ingredients. Sugar-free gum, we see a lot of dogs that got into mom's purse
of the sugar-free gum
and grab the sugar-free gum, and we have to make them vomit, and then they have to be in the hospital. I mean, xylitol's no joke.
I've always heard that's really serious.
Legislation right now. Most vets have written their congressmen and senators about passing legislation to have it clearly labeled on the front. Contains xylitol, can be harmful to you, or harmful to pets, because it's dangerous.
Yeah, as we also know, by the way, chocolates. Not good for dogs. That doesn't have xylitol. That just has other aspects of it that aren't good. Just as we wrap things up, I always like to hear if you've suffered any significant dog bites lately. I enjoy
hearing if I've been injured. You know what?
No, not if you've been injured. Just if you've
I have not suffered any dog bites, but I did have a significant injury. I don't know if you can see it, but I was out of town for a week.
Is that a scar?
It's a healing.
Yeah, I see the long line there.
So I was out of town for a week, and I came home, and Sweet Gammon, my kitty cat, who loves me so much, I fell asleep and my hand was outside of the covers, and Sweet Gam sat and licked me
While you were
I
out?
fell asleep and apparently didn't move my hand quick enough. And this is from over a week ago.
He just kept licking the same spot.
He just kept licking.
But it didn't hurt. It was light licking.
But I was also asleep.
You were out like a light, and next thing you know, you wake up and it was raw from. I would hardly call that a significant injury.
You should have seen it 3 days ago. It was this huge scab.
But it wasn't infected or anything, was it?
No.
But you were significantly licked by a cat.
I was.
Oh my gosh.
I was. So that was my most recent. I haven't been bitten
because she's
lately.
been at the clinic before. She goes, "Does your dog bite?" And he goes, "No." And she goes, "Arr!" She goes, "That's not my dog." That's from Pink Panther, Peter Sellers. But
it's not my dog.
Just love that scene. It's so good. The great Peter Sellers, the Pink Panther. But yeah,
half the people have no idea.
You've told the story before where you can tell there's some owners that are waiting to see it happen, and you do not take kindly to that.
I asked them not to come back.
That's right. Anyone who's like that is just
when your dog tries to eat my face off because you told me he wouldn't bite, and then laugh when he does it and say, "Yeah, I was wondering when that was going to happen." I've got a door right there.
The stuff you guys put up with. Remind folks where you're at.
I am at Murphy Road Animal Hospital on Murphy Road.
Great animal hospital.
Yep.
It's a great one. And you are a great veterinarian.
Thank you.
You and I have known each other for how long?
Gosh, we've been doing this since 2002, 2003?
Almost 20 years.
Almost
right
20
in that
years.
Ballpark. Well, it's awesome, and you look exactly the same.
Thanks, so do you.
See?
We're not aging, are we?
We're a little time capsule here.
I know, clearly.
Allison, listen, it's great seeing you. I hope we see you again very soon. And, I think it was great today. We'll get more calls as the ball gets rolling, as we get more and more people realizing you're back.
Yes.
So it's good to see you. We'll take a break. I'll have a programming note about tomorrow right after this. Thank you again, Allison.
Absolutely.